Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. So far, I am enjoying it. Although a little sad, it's the last day of my spring break, so I have to go back to work again tomorrow and be a productive member of society. Although fortunately, I get off again on Friday, so not the absolute end of the world, I suppose. But being productive and all of these things. But I guess it also means that my semester is half over, so I'm almost to the summer when I can be off and put all my little plants in the garden. Uh, hey, welcome, Smitha. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy your stay. Uh, Great to have new folks around always. Uh, yes. The supporters always get to vote for what puzzle we start with. So today's starting puzzle is "Where's the Crusts" by RockyRoer. The voters for this puzzle were David, Directionary, Russ, Luda, Doomdiat, Nordy, and Woofer. So thank you so much to all of you for your support. And if you are, by the way, someone who supports at the windmill level or above, and you haven't gone in and looked at the voting bucket recently, we have a lot of stuff in there that's new that you can vote for and exercise your democratic powers. Um Yes, we could definitely use more votes. So if you have not voted recently, you should go in and vote early and vote often, as they say in Chicago. Um, all right, so let's have a look at the rules of the puzzle. So we have normal Sudoku rules, and then in every row, column, and region, you must find two crusts. All 9 ones are crusts, as well as 9 other cells, which could be any digit. The clues on the outside of the grid refer to the sum of the digits between the crust cells. So it's kind of like a sandwich, except it's a weird sandwich. The capsules contain the coordinates of each of the 9 crust cells that are not ones. For example, if row 9, column 12, row 9, column 1, 2, there we go, contained a 4 and a 5, that would mean row 4, column 5 is a crust cell that isn't 1. No two capsules refer to the same crust cell. So every crust cell is indexed. So right away, I guess in row 42, in row 2, we have this 42 sum between the crusts. That can only mean that these two are crusts and none of these are crusts, and these two are 1 or 2. So we've got that at least. And this 16 assuredly requires, I guess you could do 16 in 2 digits, couldn't you? And you certainly can't do 16 in more than 4 digits because I can't use both the 1 and the 2. So this could be a crust. It would make a length 4 sandwich, but these two can't be crusts either. And yes, we can note that this particular one, so people are saying this can't be 1 for some reason. No, people are saying it can't be 2. I'm trying to understand why people are saying it can't be 2. Oh, right. Because, yes. So if this was 2, it would be the none 1 crust in row 2, which would mean the none 1 crust in row 2 would be in row 2, column 1, except this digit can't be a 1. So in fact, this can't be the 2, because as soon as this digit is a 2, this digit needs to be a 1 to index it, and that does not work. So in fact, this digit is a 1, and we get to bring out Zach for the famous 1 dance. Ba-boop-ba-doop, woo! Ba-doop-ba-doop, wah! Ba-doop-ba-doop, wee! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So we can fill in the 2 over here. So one of these pills contains a 2-9 combination. I don't think we know which one, but this is 2-9. And as Selena suggests we can give each of these each of the none-1 crusts a subcolor so that we can match the pill to the subcolor, which is, I think, a good idea. Let's see. What else leaps out here? So we've got several that just say odd, which I assume are going to be disambiguating things. Paulfly has noted we can actually crunch this a little bit more. And so if I tried to put a crust here, it would be a 1. But now I would need to make these digits sum to 16 without a 1 or a 2. But 3, 4, 5, 6 sums to too many. So that doesn't actually work. So in fact, actually, Paulfly points out that is a crust. And yes, I agree. Both these digits, the first digits of the pills and the second digits of the pills, are a disjoint set. Okay. And so in particular, I guess what we're saying is one of these is definitely a 1 we can corner mark. So we've got that. And an extra region of all the second digits of the capsules, right, Stormclimber? Yeah, the 35 certainly has some limitations, although it's not as nice as in a sandwich puzzle. But 35 requires a minimum of 5 digits to do. So if this is a crust, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then let this be a crust. So basically, these digits can be crusts, but nothing further towards the center is. So we know those aren't crusts. I don't know if it is useful, but it is true. We can do that. So row 6, column 3. Oh, that's true. Okay, so the rest of right. So so Josh has the point. That means I definitely need a crust in one of these two to make the 35. So therefore, none of these are crusts. So we've got that. And Eckbert has a really good spot. This is not a crust because this is row 1, column 2, and this is indexing the crust in row 1. So this can't be a crust because it can't be a 1, and it can't be the crust in row 1 that's not a 1 either. So that's not a crust, which means this is. And so this can be the that indexed crust. So we've got that. So there's a 1 down here in one of these cells at the very least. Yeah, that's true. The diagonal can only be 1 if it's a crust at all, is Selena's point, which is cute. I don't know how useful it is. But right, as soon as this gets to be here, DWeb points out it means this actually has to be the 1. And that actually tells us arithmetically what's happening here, because this 5 cells, it's maximum 98765, and it has to be exactly 98765 because those numbers do add to 35. So that makes these digits 2, 3, 4. Of course, this one's not 2 because of sudoku. So one of these two is the cell that's indexed by this. I don't understand why it's not. Oh, right. Sorry, because that's not a crust. Right. That's not a crust. So sorry. In my mind, I kept thinking these are 1, 3, and 1, 4. These are 1, 3, and 1, 4, and 1, 3 is not a crust. So this has to be 1, 4, and so this is a crust, and it's the blue crust we have declared. Okay. Yes, as Storm Climber says, that's 4, 5, not 3, 4. Yes, that did prove to be a problem. Okay, 10, I can't do a 10 sum in less than 2 digits. And so these aren't crust, so there's a 1 up here, so these aren't crusts, because now we've accounted for all the crusts in this box. So now there's a 1 in one of these cells. Yes. And DWeb has a beautiful spot, which is that if I put the 1 here, this is a 3-cell 10 sum without a 1, but the only 3-cell 10 sum without a 1 is 2, 3, 5, but it can't be 2, 3, 5. So in fact, this is the 1, and this is nothing like that. Okay, very smart. Okay, my 8 sum has to be 2 cells now, because I can't do a 3-cell 8 sum without a 1. And so this can be my my human flesh indexed cell. And we've already got a 1 over here, so we can do that. Okay, 15 is certainly at least 2. And now this cell... Oh, actually, I was going to say this can't be because it sees both human flesh and 1, but I don't think it's seeing human flesh and 1 actually rules it out from being a crust. It is ruled out from being a crust. Oh, no, it does, because if this was a crust, it would have to be a 1. Sorry, okay, it did work. My logic did work, yeah, because if this were a crust, it would have to be a 1, because it couldn't be the none one. Oh, right. We were blue flashing this. That was the whole point of doing the flashing for Selena. Maybe not the 1. We'll just mark that pill. Okay, so one of these 2 cells is a 1. I don't quite want to corner mark that, but it is true. Let's see. Right. This digit can't be a 1 because we've already indexed the row 1 crust, and the rules say we're not allowed to index the same crust more than once. Very wise. Oops. So this is a 1. Very wise observation there from chat. We haven't indexed the column 1 sum, though. We don't even know where the column 1 is. The 8 sum just is 3, 5, Egbert points out. So we've got that already. It's not true that this can't be 2. I'm allowed to repeat the none 1 digits, Egbert. Oh, I have indexed the column 1, 1, right. This indexes the column 1, 1, so this is not 1. Okay, I see it now. That's tricksy. Yeah, so this being 1 means that's not 1 because it would index a pill in column 1, or sorry, index the crust in column 1 again, and we cannot do that. So that is a 1. Means one of these is 1 for what it's worth. One of these is 1, and it's assuredly not that one, and it's also not this one because we've already got the row 1 there, so that one's not 1 either, and so this is also 1. Yeah, I don't know which of these is a crust yet. I don't think. Okay, so Paul Fly's claim is only one pill can be 3-2. This one can't because that digit would be a 10. This one can't because the first digit's not a 3. This one can't because one of the digits is a 1. This one can't because there's a 2 in the box. This one can't because it's 1-4. This one can't because 3 and 2 don't add to 10. This one can't, and this one can't because there's a 2 in the column. And so, yeah, so this is the only one that references 3-2, weirdly enough. So this is the green flashed pill if you want. Yeah, I'll just... yeah, I don't think I know. Yeah, this is the one referencing the green. It's true. This cell, Todd points out, can be grayed by Selena's earlier point, which is that the only way I can put a cell on the diagonal that's a crust is for it to be a 1. This cell's on the diagonal because if this was a crust, it would put a 6-6 in a pill somewhere, and that's going to create a big problem. Okay. Yes, this just can't be a 3 by our earlier point. If this was a 3, well, I guess we argued it more sophisticatedly down here. This is a 3, so this can't be a 3 by the sort of the universal principle that we're only allowed to index this cell once. If it were a 3, that would be a 2, would maybe have been a smarter way to see it, but what are you going to do? 2. So if I look in now, these now aren't crust because they would put a 1 or a 3 here. So now actually these both turn gray. That could be a 1, but if you look at it, this is a 4 or a 6 are the only actual options that this is allowed to be now. Oh, but it can't be 4, actually. This just is a 6 because there's already a none 1 crust in column 4. So this is the crust that corresponds to, if we continue down the line, imposter yellow. And so we can put an imposter yellow flash there. And that won't cause any confusion at all. So we've got that. And so because there's a none 1 crust, this digit being none 1 automatically means it's not a crust in the column. Let's see. Is this a color blindness test or a Sudoku stream? Why not both? It is not my fault that imposter yellow and yellow are indistinguishable colors in the color palette. If you want to fix that, you'll have to talk to the color palette gods. This can't be a 5 anymore because I put a 5 there already. Okay, well, this is referring to the one that's in column 1. So the one that's in column 1 certainly goes 6, 7, 8, or 9. So I can certainly write a 6, 7, 8, or 9 in there. Let's see. Okay, so these two I know sum to 10. And so if I just think through what are the options, oh, I don't have a 2 in the first slot. So I think this could be 2, 8 in that order. I've got a 3 in the first slot, but not in the second. So it could be 7, 3. And I've got a 6 in this slot and a 4 in that slot. So I think I think these are the only possibilities, actually, which creates a weird virtual 2-3 pair, but the virtual 2-3 pair does basically nothing other than to note that this digit is like a 4 something, something, something. Oh, right. 2-8 is not possible because 2-8 would index that cell. So it is 7-3. So that's a 2 and a 3. And the 7-3, good spot from DWeb. The 7-3 now is going here. And that is the carnival cake one. So we're excited, as always, for the appearance of carnival cake on the stream. This now... Right. This now can't be a crust because if it was, it would be a 1 by the row, but it's not a 1. Likewise, this box has all of its crusts. So this is now a crust, and it is the chocolate one, and we can mark that this is the pill indexing the chocolate. And so it is a 6. No 6s go there. So this isn't a 6 because that's a 6. Right. This is gray, glob, glob, glob points out, because if this was gray, the sum would be 0, and 0 has the funny property of not being odd. True enough. Let's see. Yes, this column needs a none 1 crust, and it's here. And it is the, like, CL blue crust. And so row 9, column 8. So one of these is 9-8. I don't immediately see why any of these couldn't be 9-8, but probably there is a secret reason. I would be willing to believe. Right. This now sees this, if it was a crust, would be one by the column and not 1 by the row. So this just isn't a crust. And ergo, this is the none 1 crust. And it is the last none 1 crust in the puzzle. So that makes this and this not crusts because they both see a 1 crust and a none 1 crust. In fact, these are also not crusts because they see a 1 crust and a none 1 crust. One of these is a 1. Oh, right. This row's already done, is a good point. 0's not odd comes to the rescue again, Paul Fly points out, because if this were a 1, it would make the sum 0, and 0 is not odd. Although I will say people often struggle with whether 0 is even or not, or whether it is odd or not, but 0 is definitely not odd. And I'm certain that RockyRoer is not among the people who debates whether 0 is odd or even. Let's see. Yes, Selena wonders if the entire point of the odd clues is just to say that they're not 0, which is very possible. It rarely happens, but I feel like a pro when I hit the sneeze button before I sneeze. I know. I thank you, DWeb. Thank you. Hey, Driller. I hope you're doing well. 3, 4, 5 is only 12, unfortunately. If this were a 7... Oh, this just isn't a 7 because that's a 7. Got it. Okay. So this is an 8 or a 9. If it's an 8, then this is a 5. And if it's a 9, then this is an 8. So funnily enough, there's always an 8 in one of these two cells. So these aren't 8 is a completely useless deduction. Okay, so we can just sort of like torture this cell enough, points out Josh. We've already got a 1. It could be, if it were a 2, it would be a 2, 9. So 2, 9 is one option. 2, 9 would make the sum to 11, that make that a 4. That's okay. If this is a 3, it just can't be. I don't have a 4 yet, so if it was a 4, it would be 4, 7, 4, so 4 doesn't work. That is the kind of spot that Rocky likes and that I hate. But I know Rocky loves that kind of thing, so we will give Rocky Rocky's enjoyment of that one. So 4, 7 does not work. 5, 6 makes that a 4, so 5, 6 works. 5, 6. Oh, it also would put a 7 in this column. Okay, so that doesn't actually require the full Rocky to do. So 5, 6 would put a 4 here. I guess I should have done this. 2, 9 also put a 4 here. Oh, 5, 6 has already been indexed. Sorry. You're right. So 6, it would be 6, 1. It's certainly not 6, 1. Assuredly, I've got to have the 6, 1. Oh, yeah, I've already got the 6, 1. 7, 3 is already indexed. It could be... well, no, it can't. It can't be 8, 5 because that would be a 3. And 9, 8 is too big. So in fact, this is just forced to be 2, 9, 4. Horrendous. So there we go. So this is 2, 9, 4. And we've got that. So, and 2, 9 is red, right? So we can go ahead and put our sort of like burnt umber flesh in there. Okay, so 0 is not odd. Uh-oh. Oh, no, sorry. This is not a crust. This is the marker for the crust. Okay, I'm going to move the burnt umber flag to the other side just so that I don't confuse myself. There we go. Oh, we didn't color the 7-3 capsule. Oh, that's true. This is carnival cake. We should give it its carnival cake color. And so these are, let's just figure out what these are. So what are our unindexed things? So just like, we've done 1 in the first slot, 2 in the first slot, 3 in the first slot. We haven't done 4. We've done 5. We've done 6. We've done 7, and we haven't done 8 and 9. So these are from 4, 8, 9. And then I'll just take DWeb's word for it that these are 7, 5, 8 as the remaining options. Let's see. Okay, so does 8 here break the 16 sum? Yes. 8 here breaks the 16 sum, because if this were 8, then this would have to be 3, 5, except this can be neither 3 nor 5. So that's not 8. And so, therefore, that's not 9. What about 7? That would mean these had to add to 9. So they'd have to be 4, 5. They'd have to be 4, 5 in that order. That would have to be 4, and that would have to be 5. So this is either a 5, or it's a 7, and if it's a 7, that's a 5. If I did my math correctly. So one of these two is always a 5, so this is never a 5. And so, therefore, this is never an 8. And so if this is a 5 now, then these two need to be 3, 7, or 4, 6. Which I think are both acceptable. It is true that one of these two is always a 4, because that one can't be. And this cell, if we want to look at it, sees a 489 triple. So if I actually write in what this cell can be, it cannot be 4, 8, or 9 because it sees all of those. It can't be 1 or 6 either. If this were a zeta puzzle, that would be the key spot. This is not a zeta puzzle, so it did absolutely nothing. But it can't be a 5 either, actually, because there's a 5 in the box. Or because it definitely sees the 5 from one of the pills, which I will admit is how I was originally going to explain why it couldn't be a 5. But what are you going to do? This digit is a 2 by sudoku, MechD pointed out. Let us do that. So let's put in our yellows. Like that. Okay, so these two have an odd sum. So it is 1 odd and 1 even. Let's see. I don't know if filling in those 1s did a whole lot, but let's see. How many 2s are there in the grid now? Not actually as many as you would assume, given how much 2-age is going on. Yeah, I agree the odd is a 5. However, I kind of wanted to engage in Selena's fanciful question of whether knowing that these things are odd is actually just saying that they're not 0. But I agree the odd has to be a 5 if we decide we're willing to use that. Let's see. We've got all the 1s now. Right. One of these two is a 7 because that one isn't. And therefore 7 is exactly here. So this digit's not a 7 either. So let's actually just mark what these digits can be. They are 4, 8, and 9. It would seem. So that actually completes our 4, 8, 9 triple in this column for confusing reasons. So let us fill in these, noting that they are not, in fact, 4, 8, or 9. So that gives me my sort of 2, 3, 5 combo here. Okay, and maybe I should examine the possibilities for this. Oh, right, sorry. I already have a corner marked 5 here. So if I have a corner marked 5 here, it's probably useful to note that that's a 3, that's a 2, and that's a 5. That will make life easier, for sure. Okay, so now, can this really be a 9? I'd need these to add to 7. No, that doesn't work. Because they would have to be 5 and 2. Can this be an 8? In which case, these would have to be 3, 5, and that doesn't work either. So this is only a 4. And if this is a 4, that means these are a 5, 7 pair, actually, regardless of the order. These are always a 5, 7 pair, which makes that the 8. And the 1 in the 8th column goes with a 9, which then makes that the 8. And the 5, and makes that the 4, and the 7. Yeah, the 4 and the 7, and oops, and the 5, and the 9 and the 8. These are not 8. That is not 9. Let's see. So we can paint these over here. So that is the 7, the 6, the 9, the 8, the 6, and the 9, and the 6 and the 3. Josh says row 9, column 5 is even by sudoku. So let us fill in some stuff there. Like that. Okay, this is not 7 because there's a 5, 7 pair in the box. Let's see. 5 and 6. Those are an 8-9 pair, which makes that a 7. Let's do this, continue doing this a little bit at a time. Okay, so this is a 6 and a 7 and a 3 and a 4. Oh, row one has a very, very hidden single, 4. An unusually hidden 4. Okay, so no 7 here. That gives me an 8-9 pair in this column, which makes that a 5 and that a 6, making that an 8. 6, 8, 8, 4. Okay. Then the question is this the furthest we can go without using the odd clue? Yeah, we were, Selena and I were just playing a game of, were the odd clues really only here to say not 0, or do we actually need to use the fact that they're odd? And I think now we've done all the Sudoku, so I think the answer is we do actually have to use that at least one of them actually is an odd clue. Because in order for this one to work, for example, 6 plus 4 isn't odd. So I think we can make it to here without using the odd and just using... instead of using the fact that it's odd, using the fact that it's not 0 is all we've used so far. But this at least looks to me like the sort of thing you would get if you, even if you sort of plug this into a solver. Uh-oh, Josh says, wait. Thank you. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Josh has found 6 in column 4. So there was a spot that was possible, but unfortunately I don't know that did anything. What's funny, actually, the fact that both of these are odd are both saying the fact that 6 plus this digit is odd. So those two odd things, actually, the oddness is communicating the same thing. So of course, then once we fill that in, then we get 9, 5, 9, 8, 9, 7, 4, 8, 4, 2, 7, 9, 2, 8, 3, 4, 3, 2. Very nice. I really enjoyed that one. Except for the figure out this 15 clue. I did not like the 15 clue, but other than that, I liked the puzzle. Very cool. But yes, we did ultimately need to use the odd clue. It was not just not 0. But that was cute. I don't know why I sometimes enjoy the weird sandwich clues like these. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in just a moment with another puzzle. I don't know which one yet, but we'll find out soon together. So see you all in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. We have a Tallcat puzzle next. Also, chat has been discussing the fact that Selena and Helena are spelled very similarly but pronounced very differently, and it is a very strange. It is very strange that English works like this. But then also, this had me realizing that at least in my head, and I think I've heard other people say this. Ugh. No. 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 I can't get to that layer, Tristan. There we go. Did I finally? Nope, nope, not that one. Not that one. There's so many layers here. I don't know which one it is I'm trying to. There we go. That one. It was the one I assumed it couldn't possibly be. Da 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 da. There we go. I found it. Anyway, interestingly, I'm pretty sure it is Selena, and when I hear people pronounce it for Elden Ring, but I don't know why. All right. For whatever reason, this time, Tristan, it is green. It's never green. It's usually red or blue, but neither red nor blue were moving this, but the green did. So who knows? Okay, so I have it. I have assurances from Tristan we've not done this puzzle on stream. It looks kind of familiar, but I think it just looks like a Tallcat puzzle. Oh, it's Selen, not Selena. You're right. Okay, so Selena is correct. Sorry, it is Selen. So yeah, and I definitely would pronounce Selen as Selen, I guess. You can click it in the list? Is that really an option? Oh, holy crap. This is like life altering. That is an amazing interface addition. No, you just missed that my memory was not very good. I've actually been replaying Elden Ring. I didn't finish it the first time. I'm pretty close to finishing it this time, I think. Well, welcome, Pause. I hope hanging out here helps you feel better. While we look at some region, some lines, and some Renbon. The way that Renbon work is that these need to be a string of 5 consecutive digits in some permuted order. So it could go 5, 4, 6, 7, 3, for example, would be an acceptable thing, because this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just in a fancy order. So that's what Renbon are. They're fancy. And these are region sum lines, which say that these 2 digits are the sum of these 3. So in other words, these 2 digits are the same digit. I might as well just give them a color now, because I'm sure we're going to have to. And these 2 digits are the same digit, but the digit that they are is the sum of these 3 digits. And so we get our sort of freebie. These are a sum of 3 distinct digits, so they're from 6, 7, 8, 9. And our freebie, these are from these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because 6 is the largest digit that you can put in a 3-cell sum. Okay. Now, I will also let you in on the secret that neither of these digits can be a 5. And that's because every length 5 Renbon contains a 5. And so if every length 5 Renbon contains a 5, then no matter where the 5 is, it definitely sees that cell. And no matter where the 5 is, it sees that cell. Also being pointed out, this is a third 6, 7, 8, 9. And in fact, this one's not even 6, because these digits these digits can't be 1, 2, 3, which would be the only way to make 6. So here is a third 6, 7, 8, 9 that we can have. Okay, so green is on this. Oh, right. And this has to include 1 and 2, points out DWeb, is a very good spot. Right. So here's a fact to internalize if you're going to do this kind of Sudoku a lot. If you have a 3-cell sum of 3 distinct numbers, to a single digit number in Sudoku, you always need at least 2 of 1, 2, and 3. And since we can't have 3, we need both 1 and 2. That shows up a fair amount in my puzzles in various sorts of things. So we've got that. So now it's interesting to note that the yellow is assuredly on here somewhere, and the green is assuredly on here somewhere just by Sudoku. And now, whichever of yellow and green is higher, that means that Renban is also going to need the other one. Because, say, yellow is 7 and green is 6, for example, the one that has a 7 on it's also going to need a 6. So one of these has both yellow and green on it, for what it is worth. This is the last 6, 7, 8, 9 because it's the sum of those 3 things. So this can be the purple 6, 7, 8, 9. Because it's the sum of these 3. So we actually know these digits at least are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know actually these digits can't be 1, because this Renban has a 6, 7, 8, or 9 on it, and this Renban has a 6, 7, 8, or 9 on it. So these are not 1. If this were 2, it would be incredibly restrictive. But I think it's technically possible. Okay. So, 4 column 7 is 5 cells. Let's see. It's not the break into frac, Selena. But, oh, okay. I should probably also mark that these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because of that. Okay, so we've got this. 2 doesn't work, but it's messy. Okay, so these digits I should also mark. These are a minimum 4. 9's going to be really ugly, but I don't want to prove it. Okay. What are we doing now? So we probably should ask something like, where does purple go in box 2? Because it doesn't have a whole lot of options of places that it can go. Right. Paulfly has a good spot. Neither of these can be 6. Because we know this Renban has a 6 on it. And as soon as this Renban has a 6 on it, of course, these 2 digits aren't 6. That is a good point. Oh, I see. Okay, so here is Selena's point. It took me. I did not see this for forever, even though Selena kept telling me it, and it's not particularly complicated if you've done a lot of these. Which is that these 5 cells. Let me just give them a color. These 5 brown cells. They sum to purple plus orange, which means that purple plus orange needs to be a minimum of 15. But actually, this 2, 3, 4, 5 tells you they actually sum to a minimum of 16. And so, for example, this is never a 6. But we can actually do better because now they sum to a maximum of 17. And even if you're doing a 5-cell sum to 17, the largest number you can possibly use is 7. So these are from 1 through 7. Of course, this one's not 6 or 7. But also, you'd better use a 1, and a 2, and a 3 in order to do it. Because if you don't use a 1, 2, and 3, then your minimum would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is already 18. And so, in particular, this digit's not a 2 or a 3, for whatever that's worth. And people are correct in pointing out one of these has to be 9, because if they were 7, 8, 7, 8 does not sum to at least 16. So that's not going to work. So one of these two is 9. So none of these are 9, which now gives us a useless Zackwing on 1s. It also removes 6 from all of these, because now that we're summing to at most 8, we are no longer able to do that. Also, one of these is 6. So one of these is 1, 2, 3. Okay. For what it is worth. Let us see. So I can corner mark a 9 over here in this box, actually. And that's going to give us our first digit. Because I can't put a 9 on this Renbon, can I? I don't think I can, but maybe I did not think about this enough. Is it possible that I could put a 9 on this Renbon? I don't think it's possible, but I don't actually... I thought it was going to be obvious that I couldn't, and it is not, in fact, obvious to me that I cannot. Okay. Yes. So Selena points out that, in fact, actually, if you ask where purple and orange go in box 4, you can use another fancy trick, which is that if you look at it, purple and orange, it sort of looks like, because one of purple and orange could be 7, it looks like one of them could go in one of these cells. But it actually can't, because if you imagine that purple or orange shows up in one of the brown cells, what happens is that the other 4 cells sum to the other of purple and orange. And then you have 4 cells summing to at least 10. And so then your number is not a single-digit number. So Selena would like us to just mark that these are a purple-orange pair. And so at least one of purple and orange shows up in here. And that means that the highest digit on this Renbon is at least a 7. So it doesn't have a 2 on it anymore, I suppose. If I like... okay, so now D-Web points out, actually, here's a slicker thing to notice that will get us there more quickly. Yellow now is part of the sum, so yellow is in one of these cells now. It's part of the brown sum, so yellow therefore can't be 8. Yellow is only 6 or 7. It's not 8 up here either. So that rules out 5. And guarantees now that there's actually a 2 in these cells. In order to make that work. Okay. Oh, right. I just corner marked a 2 on top of a cell that was center marked as not being able to be 2. So, in fact, the 1 and the 2 actually go here. So these are indeed a 1-2 pair. For what that is worth. Josh pointing out, I can clean out my pencil marks a little bit. There's certainly never a 7 in the 3-cell sum. So the only place the 7 can go is here, if the 7 is in the sum at all. Uh, Globba Glob points out, so I was trying to prove that 9 obviously couldn't go on one of these cells, but actually 9 has to go on one of these Renbon. It's either over there or over there. So one of these Renbon actually has all of these things on it. Has the full menagerie of colors, if you will. And so whichever one of the Renbon has 9 on it is going to make one of these two digits a 5, which rules 5 out of both of these two cells. Just because 9, if you count down 5 from 9, you don't get to 4. So one of these two has to be a 5. Oh, end this one. Yes, end that one. Globba Glob points out. It's not that the 5 has to be in row 4, D-Web. It's that these digits, if you look at their candidates, the only candidate that can go on a Renbon with a 9 is 5. So then there's exactly 1 5 in all of these highlighted cells. That does not seem useful to me, but it's possible that it could be useful. Who knows? Let's see. These numbers can't be super large, for what it's worth. Okay, so here's another spot from Paulfly that I like. So we know there's a 9 on one of the Renbons in row 3. So there can't also be a 9 on one of the Renbons in row 2. And the reason for that is that as soon as there's a 9 on one of these Renbon, it puts a 5 into row 4, and there's only 1 5 in row 4. So there, in fact, can't be a 9 on the Renbon up here. And so where does the 9 go? In row 2, the 9 in row 2 of all things is placed here. And so we get to bring out Zach for a surprise 9 dance. Ba-boop ba-doop, woo! Ba-doop ba-doop, wah! Ba-doop ba-doop, wee! Ba-doop 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 ba-doop, wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Tallcat is very good at making puzzles where the dance has a lot of delay to it, even though you're like doing lots of stuff. So that's the 9 up there, and it means this is the Renbon with the 9. So that's the 5. So this isn't a 5. That's not a 5. None of these are 5s. So the green Renbon, in fact, has a 9. So in fact, that's a 4. And because of that, that means I also need yellow in here to make that work. And I also need purple in here, actually. And so if I look at it, these 3 cells are a green, yellow, purple triple. And so this is the other one, which is orange. And so that tells me that orange is not 9, actually, which is a little bit of a surprise. So, in fact, orange is 7 or 8. And so we've got sort of all of our colors going on here. And that places orange in this box, actually. So orange goes here now by coloring. And remember, if purple is not 9, remember we have a big problem. Namely, if purple's not 9, these two sum to 15, but I can't make these sum to 15. So purple is, in fact, the 9. I agree. So this 9 and that 9 can be purple. Okay, there's certainly no 6s along this line anymore, owing to that. Right. The only 9 sum without a 2 is 1, 3, 5. So, and this one this one isn't 1, 3, 5. So these are not 2, points out DWeb. Orange is placed in box 3, points out Paul Fly. So this cell is simply orange. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 3 is the lowest digit that goes on a Renbon with a 7. So this is no longer able to be 2 either. So one of these two is 2. This digit is not 6, 7, or 8, fun fact. It is a 4 or a 5. So that is good. Let's see. Okay. Of course, I should mark that I know that these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. That one's not 9. Well, this digit's bigger because this digit's at most 4, and I need to get to at least 7. So this one's at least not 1 for whatever minuscule amount that is going to get us. Okay. Row 2, column 9 is not purple, so it can be depurpled, Global points out. Okay. This is a quintuple. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple, which means this is the other 6, 7, 8 for the row. It's not the 9 we know. Now, I don't know that that makes it yellow. I guess I actually could say for sure I know that one of these two is 6. For whatever limited amount that I can get out of that. I don't think it's a lot. Let's see. These numbers, if I look at it, because there's a 6 coming down, now these numbers are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I can't get above 6. So we've got some sort of lowage going on here. And so the reason I was marking that was that it was just going to make it easier to explain why we get the point from Emma that the 9 is corner marked into one of these two cells down here. So the 9 is down here. Can the 9 really go there? Excuse me. These would have to be 8, 7. But that doesn't work because they both see orange. So that's not the 9 for what it's worth. Because if this were 9, I'd need these to be an 8, 7 pair, but both of those see orange. I'm also going to note 7, 6, 5 is the lowest that these digits can possibly be. So these are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that one's not a 5. Do I have a similar problem with these being 9, 8, 7? I don't think I quite do. Yes. Okay, DWeb has noted that this cell sees this whole Renbon, which now needs to have a 3 on it. And so this can't be a 3 anymore. This is now a 4, which makes that a 5. And now there's no 4 on this Renbon. Now there's no 5 on it either. These are now just a straight up 1, 2, 3 triple. In fact, that's a 1, 2, 3 triple in the column. If you look closely, these now are 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, and 4 add to 7. So I can do some algebra, some Sayori algebra to fill in the 7, fill in the 6s, fill in the 3, fill in the 8. The 8. Hey, DDX, how have you been? So no 8 there, no 7 there, no 3, no 7, no 7 there. Okay, so now there's definitely a 6 living its best life in one of these places. one of these is a 3, points out Sweet Blues, because in this column I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple and the 3 isn't there. But once one of those is a 3, this isn't a 3, which makes those a 1, 2 pair, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 4. If I just go over and do my math. So now, now these are 1, 2, 6. And I think I can now get rid of the brown coloring, and I think I can get rid of this yellow coloring like that. Okay, no 7 goes here. Let's see. That is not a 4. That's not a 3. That's not a 7. Okay, so we've got 4, 5. So this could either be 6, 8, or 4, 6. I think those are the options. So I think this is 4, 6, or 8, if I did my Renbon math correctly. This is now a 1 or a 2, actually. Aha, that'll do it. This I've already got a 4 or 5 on the 8 sum. Remember, I need 2, 1, 2, 3s, but this one can't be 3, so it's a 1, 2. 1 plus 2 plus 5 is how you make 8. Oh, I could have done that without algebra if I'd have realized there was a 1, 2, 4 triple in the row, perhaps, maybe. Zeta did not Renbon that correctly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Or 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there could be a 3 in here. Oh, no, there can't be a 3 in here as well because the 3 is already there. Oh, I already have a 4. Sorry. So these just are a 6-8 pair. Right. These just are a 6-8 pair. Because the low digit I could go to would be a 3, but there's already one in the box. So I can't go lower. Hey, MicroStudy. Hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and mark that these are a 4, 5 pair. And so, in fact, that's the 5 and that's the 4. And these up here are a 3 and a 4. So that's the 4, and that's our 3 in the corner. Doot moment. MicroStudy also suggests I look at 6 in column 1, which is a beautiful spot because 6 in column 1 wrecks 6 off of this entire Renbon. And if the Renbon can't have 6, it can't have 5 either. Very cool. So these are now a legit 7, 8, 9 triple, which is sweet. That was a great MicroStudy moment there. So these digits, it is just a triple, but it's a triple with a 6 in it. So, they are a 1, 2, and a 6, in fact, if you like that kind of thing. DWeb pointing out we've got a 1, 2, 6 triple here in this column. So that has made that an 8, and that a 9, and that a 6. So we can give them their true colors if we go back to the color palette mode. So the 8s are green, the 9s are purple, and the 6s are regular yellow. I mean, to be fair, Paul Fly, it doesn't matter if it's an easy or a hard puzzle. I'm not doing a Psycho Killer puzzle. Tristan, I think, likes that kind of thing. That is like the Zeta has literally no interest in doing any Psycho Killer puzzles ever again. So that finishes the Renbon. 9, 8, 7. So that is my purple 9 over here. So convince Tristan, not me, in other words. But Tristan likes indexing stuff. But with Tristan, you might have the problem that Tristan might not want to do an S cell puzzle. So let's see. This is 1, 2, 5, or 8. If it's an 8, that doesn't work, because if it's an 8, it would need to have a 7, and there's no place for a 7 on it anywhere. Oh, this 7 is orange, by the way, and this 8 is green. And this coloring is useful. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This digit is not a 1, 2, or a 3, actually. If I just fill in the column, we'll actually see what this column can be. These are 4, 5, or 9, and we've already said that one's not 9. And so, therefore, this one's not 1 for sure. And so this Renbon is going to need a 3 or a 6. And this is the 3 or the 6. Oh, DDX has donated with some sunflowers. Thank you, DDX. I'm growing some sunflowers soon, hopefully. Alrighty, let us get you a donation dance. Thank you so much. Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Thank you so much, DDX. Is your name, in fact, a reference to derivatives? I admit, until Selena suggested it now, I have read DDX hundreds of times, and it has never occurred to me that it was a reference to derivatives. Oh, this number is definitely 2 mod 3. So I can't have any more 2 mod 3 numbers on this Renbon, is what MicroStudy is saying. Or alternatively, I need a 1 mod 4 number on this Renbon via the Mormogli puzzle, and the only 1 mod 4 number available is this 4. Either way you want to think about it should suffice. So we've got all of that. These numbers are larger than, or these numbers are at least 3. Okay. These are a 5, 9 pair. I'm debating. Okay, I guess I should probably ask myself what these two are is probably the actual question. Because these numbers need to add to 9 without a 1 or a 2. So they could be 3, 6, or 4, 5. That's not a 3, so that's not a 6. And let's see. That gets me a sextuple now in the row. Tall Cat loves me and gave me a sextuple because now those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that's an 8, and that is a 7 now to do that. So now we ask ourselves where the 4 in the row is. And 4 in the row now only goes here, so these are in fact a 4, 5. So that makes that a 2, which now makes that a 3 for completeness sake. So now that's a 2 and that's a 1 going over here. So that's a 1, a 6, and a 2. It's a 1 and a 2. 2 and a 1. 3 and a 1 and a 5. No 2, no 1. Okay. I'm sorry we did not get to use your 2-stringed kite MicroStudy. It would have been so cool, I'm sure, to use the 2-stringed kite to do it. 7s are orange. 8s are green. This sounds like the start of a Valentine. Okay. Let's fill in these pairs down here. And these digits down here. Okay, so DWeb points out that if this was an 8, the sum would need to be 15. But 15 is one of those numbers where you know the ways to make the sum are 7, 8, which is ruled out by that, and 6, 9, which is ruled out by these 9s. So this can't be an 8, actually, which is very cool. Okay, so now these need to be green. that needs to be yellow. So these can't be 5, 5, 1, 9, 2, 8. So they could be 3, 7, or 4, 6. And if you look at which of 3, 7, and 4, 6 they are, this one can only be 3 and 7. So this is a shameful region sum line. You can't have 1, 9 between lines, and you can't have region sum lines where the sum is the same on both sides. That's just that is forbidden. That is a shame region sum line. So 1, 8, 7. 9, 3, no 1. There we go. And so we can do that here. So no 1, or sorry, so that is a 1. And so we go 4, 2, 1, 9, 5, 9, 8. 4, 5 go in, 2 goes in, 4 goes in, 6, 5, 5, 4, 2, 6, 6, 2, and 1. Very nice puzzle, Tallcat. Aside from this, I mean, come on, we're above this. 9, 8, 7, and 6s. There we go. Very fun puzzle. Microstudy says one of his newer puzzles has exactly one rule again. Oh, is it a Navario? Are we talking about Navario puzzles or Tallcat puzzles? But anyway, very, very nice thing. Okay, so now we get to play the best Tallcat game, which is to note that the title of this puzzle is 5 by 5, and try to understand what the 5 by 5 is a reference to. I originally thought it was going to be like a time thing, like this was going to be like a clock, but if this is a clock trying to communicate like clock hands, I'm not quite there. Oh, it's 5 of each. Oh, wow. Yeah, microstudy's all over that. That would have taken me forever. It's almost always like a very abstract painting, which is what usually what also my titles are. But this is just 5 of each. Got it. Very good. And some of them even have length 5. Sadly, not all of them have length 5, but most of them have length 5. Some of them. I guess 4 of them have length 5. A Picasso clock. There we go. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back shortly with more puzzlage. So see you all in just a bit. All right, welcome back, everyone. We have done our preparation work now for this Navario puzzle. And so now we will understand why the deduction I saw in half a second of looking at the grid is true. Having just done this good preparation puzzle. So this is a Renbon region sum line puzzle, ambiguity puzzle. So every line in the grid is either a Renbon or a region sum line. And those are the two things that we just did in this puzzle. So it's just like this, except the colors got lost and a lot of the lines got very intimate. So we have that going on. And we're not allowed to have any line which is both. So this is an exclusive or here. Oh, Tristan, can you put a link in the chat? By the way, this whole new thing that I think Sudoku Maker lets you do all of these sort of lines going all over each other a bit. I feel like this would be a very good setup to do an antimatter lines puzzle, like maybe an all length 4 antimatter lines puzzle. If someone wants to make a crazy antimatter lines puzzle, I feel like the previous antimatter lines puzzles were really held back by not being able to do this much shenaniganery. So anyway, if you want to try that, I recommend it. I don't really, but you know, you do you. So anyway, so the point is here that for the quasi break-in thing here is that we have Selena's 15 point from before. Actually, I guess this isn't even quite Selena's 15 point. This is a little easier than that, which is that if this is a Renbon, then of course I'm not allowed to repeat this on the Renbon. If this is a region sum line, well, then these two sum to that, and these three sum to that. So certainly this isn't in the sum. So these two cells are always the same, no matter what kind of line this is. And now that tells me what kind of line this is. Because now this line, now if this were a region sum line, that cell would be yellow. But it certainly is not yellow. So that means that this is a Renbon for whatever that is worth. Don't quite know what to do with it just yet, but we've got that. Yeah, I would not, in fact, encourage this kind of overlapping not line stuff. I can unextend it and just put the purple in the middle there. I don't know. Maybe that looks even worse. Maybe I could just put a purple circle here in the middle. There we go. We'll do that. Just to try and minimize that one. So, well, this cell is not a 5. I have made it that far. It would be cool if you could click to recolor the lines. I haven't been doing bet cells as often. If there's a lot of requests for bet cells, then I will do them. Yeah, the only reason we're not coloring the lines is because of the way these lines run into each other. I think renders or adds visual ambiguity. So that's the only reason I'm not coloring the lines, because it's going to be a real mess when we try and do it like down there. It's okay, Tallcat. You can now help us solve a puzzle with exactly the same rules as yours, and you can share all of your insight. So it would be interesting if this were a Renbon, is what some people in chat are pointing out, because if this was a Renbon, these 3 digits would have to go the exact opposite direction of this one. But I don't quite know what to do with that. At least one of these two is a renbon, for what it's worth. Yeah, I think Tristan still likes running the betting. I will sometimes. The opinion of people is split between I love it and I hate it, but I do really like that the bot still like keeps track of stuff like watch time and chat participation and that sort of thing. But I would prefer to do things that make a majority of viewers happier. Uh, uh, Row 4, column 6 in box 2. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this cell definitely is in one of these. So if I give this like a green color just by Sudoku, one of these is green. Oh, that looks horrible. I've got to use that one. There we go. One of these is green. So in particular on this line, one of them is green. Uh, uh, Right, and it's never this one, points out chat, because if this is a region sum line or a renbon, those two digits can't be the same. So we've got that. Right, yellow is now over here somewhere, because yellow's certainly not here. Again, in either universe, and yellow I know is not here because I actually know this is a renbon. So there's definitely a yellow over here somewhere. I feel like if I was making a coloring puzzle, I would have made my lines darker than this, so that when people colored, it would obscure the lines less. Right, there's already a yellow in row 1. So, Tallcat, I did pen over the line in pink. However, it looks horrible when you get to stuff like these intersections and these overlaps, and it obscures some of these things. So only because this is a busier grid did I not. I would normally, of course, do that. So interesting, I suppose, to contemplate what it would mean if, say, this line going this way was a renbon versus otherwise. Hey, Navario. Yeah, the dark gray makes it hard to see the lines. I guess I should just splash with white instead. That's fine. We can do that. I agree these aren't both arrows. One of them is definitely a region sum line. That I definitely agree with. Yes, Paul Fly notes we have to make sure they're not simultaneously a renbon and a region sum line. That would be a problem. I mean, I can do things like I know this digit is in this column somewhere, but I don't know if it's green or not. Yeah, I do think it's believable that they'd both be renbon. It's very plausible to me that this L-shaped thing is still a renbon because they share yellow and green. But I think it could equally well be a region sum line. Like I think it would have solutions both ways if I didn't take into account the other pieces of what's going on here. Let's see. It is true. This sees all of both lines. Uh, okay. That's a good point. So it almost looks like these can't simultaneously both be region sum lines, which would be true, except that they overlap in a cell. So I think it's possible actually that both of these are region sum lines if that's a one, uh, as it currently stands. Uh, but I'm not quite sure. Uh, but green is on one. Okay, so right. So if they're both region sum lines, green goes up here. Green would have to be 6. And so this would be 1, 2, 6. And this would be 1, 2, 3. But then I've got ones and twos both have to be here. And so I'd need a 1-2 business. So that doesn't quite work. So one of these is a Renbon. That or that. Uh, let's see. So uh, well, I don't know that yellow is on this one. I think if I knew that yellow was on this one, I think that would tell me something. Uh, so I guess here's an. Oh, maybe I don't even actually know. I was gonna say if yellow is on this, it means that yellow is or it means that this one's definitely the Renbon, but I don't think that's true. Uh, I mean, yellow and green differ by at most 4, is what we know about yellow and green. Uh, let's see. Paulfly says they have to be adjacent, which is what I keep wanting to be true, but I don't know how to prove it. Uh, people keep saying at most 3, but this is a length 5 Renbon, not a length 3 Renbon. Uh, if there's a digit between them, 2 lines in box 2 needed. I don't know that if this is the Renbon that it has yellow on it. That cell's not on it. If I knew that yellow was here, I would agree with that deduction. But if I knew that yellow was here, we'd be in a much better place. But I don't. Yellow could completely miss this line over here. So again, I'd love to place yellow here. I just don't think we're there yet to being able to do so. Why am I asking if row 3, column 7 is yellow, Eckbert? I might be able to get a chain to answer the question, but I can't answer the question if I don't have a reason to ask the question. Let's see. I do agree. If the diagonals are a region sum line, they're the same. Uh, Even if yellow is here, they're still at most 2 apart because of the diagonal lines, Dima is saying. Uh, I agree these can't both be region sum lines. I agree with that statement as well. However, I don't think that says that even if yellow is here, yellow and green are at most 1 apart, because one of them is a Renbon, but I don't know that they're both Renbon. And even if they were both Renbon, I think that would tell me they're at most 2 apart. Uh, 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 Selena doesn't believe that this can be yellow. That would be interesting. Uh, Navario is correct. Dima did actually say 2. I just misread it. Uh, but yeah, Dima said at most 2 apart. But I don't think I don't think it's still quite true because of the fact that one of these could be a region sum line. Uh, 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 I think Globaglob has seen something I have not yet. Let's see. Eckbert says if this is yellow, then they're both Renbon. Is that true? Why does that have to be true? Uh, uh, I do feel like it's going to be difficult for both of these to be Renbon at the same time. Uh, uh, Given that this is a Renbon. But I don't see what that gets us, so I don't know that I don't know that it's worth thinking about whether all 3 can be Renbon unless we actually know something that we get out of it. Uh, that's my instinct as well, Emma. That is basically a good way of framing what my intuition is for why I don't think they can all be Renbon. Uh, but it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, Navario, because it doesn't get us anything. If someone says if we can prove they're not all Renbon, then we can do X, then it is worth thinking about. But it is not otherwise worth thinking about. See, Stormclimber says you can't make this a Renbon because otherwise you can't put all the digits. So sort of counting all of these digits would be within 3 of yellow. If these are both Renbon. Sorry, within 4. No, they would all be within 3 of yellow because we know. No, within 4 of yellow. And so then we'd need the other stuff over here. Let's see. I think you're thinking about the. I think you're thinking about the right stuff, Storm Climber. I think it does probably involve sort of figuring out how to count the stuff uh, in the box. Uh, uh, see. Hesham says that the thing we're supposed to be thinking about is row 7, column 3. Oh, no, sorry, column 7, row 3. So it makes the row 1 be a Renbon, otherwise the puzzle is broken. So what's true is this cell is definitely less than or equal to 1 away from green. And so this cell is definitely less than or equal to 2 away from green. Regardless of regardless of line types. So I think I now do believe Dima's point from earlier. This cell is always less than or equal to 2 away from this regardless. So if this cell is less than or equal to 2 away from green, are you claiming these can't both be Renbon, Martin? Because I don't see a reason these can't both be Renbon. But certainly this is less than 2 away from green. Less than or equal to 2 away from green. And that the fact that this is less than or equal to 2 away from green does do some interesting stuff with sort of the directions our Renbon can go from green. Because if both of these were Renbon that contained green, then we'd have a problem unless this was yellow. And if it's yellow, then it's fine. So, if this is yellow, glob, then I don't need the in-between digits on this line at all. You need in-between digits in both lines emanating from row 1, column 3, though. Well, only if this is a Renbon, and I have no reason to suspect this is a Renbon, right? So, yeah, we don't know which of these is yellow. I agree we can form lots of statements of if I hypothesize that this is a Renbon and that the yellow is there and that this is a region sum line, then I can prove that XYZ. But I'm not doing a proof with with 3 degrees of subcases of this. So like if someone wants to prove this line is a this, or this is definitely the one that is yellow, I definitely know one of these things is whatever. I'm happy with any sort of things that we actually know. I do agree one of the lines is probably a region sum line. I'm and if we need to prove that, I'm confident that we can prove that. That these aren't all Renban. Uh, uh, but the one of these two cells, if one of these cells is not yellow or green, that's when things sort of become interesting. Uh, uh, okay. I don't know that yellow and green are a max of 2 apart. I only know that yellow and green are a max of 4 apart. Uh, Unfortunately. Uh, yeah, Selena. I mean, that's the proof I assume, but it just doesn't do anything unless I mean, I'm sure it does something, but I don't know what it does. So I haven't bothered sort of like articulating the proof that they're not all Renban, because I don't know what they're not all Renban does. Uh, uh, is the point to ask? Uh, we did prove they aren't both region sum lines. So I guess that does say yellow and green are at most 3 apart. Because one of these, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, because that could be yellow again. That could be yellow, right? I don't know that yellow and green are on a Renban are on a length 4 Renban together. Uh, 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 Oh, okay, right. They are at most 3, right? DWeb has put together 2 of the conditional proofs into something unconditional, which is that if yellow is here, yellow and green are at most 2 apart because of the connection of those lines. And if yellow is here, yellow and green are at most 3 apart, and therefore yellow and green are always at most 3 apart. So that is an unconditional statement, and that is the first unconditional statement that we've gotten in a while. Yellow and green are definitely at most 3 apart. And it doesn't it's unconditional on where yellow is. And so woo unconditional statements indeed. And so at most 3 apart is pretty interesting because it means that if this is a region sum line, the 1 and the 2 are on it. Because that would mean that green and yellow, if they're exactly 3 apart, then it would have to be that there's a 1 and a 2 there. So if yellow is here and this is a region sum line, then there'd be a 1 and a 2 over there. Uh, 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 yes. Okay. So yes. So I agree with J40. If this line is a region sum line, then the other 2 digits on it are 1 and 2, and they're 3 apart. Otherwise, this is a Renban, in which case then yellow and green have to be consecutive because of the in-between thing. So the distance between yellow and green, again, unconditionally, is odd. Yellow and green are either 1 apart or 3 apart. So we have a sort of parity thing that we have going on here. So there's the 1 apart case and the 3 apart case. So we're sort of, again, we're sort of down to sort of like two, again, two unconditional statements. Okay. Both of these cases prevent the line up from green being a renbon, says Emma. Okay, so I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. So around how this line connects to that. So I agree that because of our 1 or 3 comment, these can't both be renbon with that being yellow. If this is yellow, then this cell's always yellow or green, is a consequence of our odd parity, because this is sort of an even length thing, and our odd parity does that. Okay, so okay, that's interesting. Emma has another sort of interesting point here, which is that if this is a region sum line, this digit's definitely a 1, 2. In fact, it's a 1 or a 2, which would then go over here on this. But I think this, and then this would be a renbon with a 1 or a 2 on it. Okay, I think Emma's point ties the room together. Because if this is a region sum line, we've already said that the other digits on it are 1 or 2. So this is a 1 or a 2. And remember, if this is a region sum line, that means this is not a region sum line. It's a renbon. But now in that instance, green is at most 3 away from 1 or 2. So green is at most 4. And if green is at most 4, I've lost the thread. All right. Green and yellow are 3 apart. So everything between yellow and green is here. Right. Okay, there we go. Okay, got it. So if this is a region sum line, yellow and green are 3 apart. So there's digits between them. Those digits between them are here. Therefore, this can't be yellow in that instance, because in that instance, the digits between them have just evaporated, and we've said these can't both be region sum lines. That was the first thing we proved. So if this is a region sum line, that cell is yellow. Oh, but that doesn't work. Haha! There we go. That can't be a region sum line. That we finally now have put together all of our unconditional facts into a statement. Because what we just said is if this is a region sum line, this cell is yellow. However, if this is a region sum line, yellow and green are 3 apart, and that doesn't work because these 2 cells are at most 2 apart. Huzzah! This is a renbon. There we go. Okay, we have put together the correct facts, or we have put together some facts. Whether they're the correct facts or not remains to be seen. Okay, so now we can prove the statement that this line is a region sum line, because we've been pretty sure this whole time that that I can't also have this be a Renbon, because it's just going to be a mess if this is also a Renbon, but there's been no reason to prove it. But now there's a reason to prove it. Because now, if this is a Renbon, assuredly the world just falls apart, right? Because if this is a Renbon, now every cell in the entire box, except for that one, is very close to green. Oh, sorry, including that one. If this is a Renbon, remember this cell is at most 2 away from green. All of these cells are at most 4 away from green. Which means that green is 5. So if this is a Renbon, green is 5. And now I need a place for 1 and 9 in the box, and I don't have them, because I can only put 1 or 9 on this length 5 Renbon. I don't have a second length 5 Renbon. So if this is a Renbon, then green has to be 5 in order that I can put all of 1 through 9 in this box. But I can't put both 1 and 9 into the box. It doesn't work. So therefore, this is a region sum line. And therefore, this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Bye, Smitha. Glad you've enjoyed it. Great to have you around. Hope to have you again soon. Globaglob points out the other ways to think about it is all of these are on Renbon with green, but only one number can be 4 away from green. So I can't have both 1 and 9. Okay. So now, if this is yellow, then these are a 1-2 pair. And I think that's going to break instantly. Because if this is yellow, then these two differ by at most. Okay, so I guess I should just write in yellow differs from green by at most 3. And I think I proved before that because this is a Renbon, they differ by 1, but I don't remember that. But I certainly know that yellow is at most 3 less than green. So this is certainly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for sure. So we'd have that. So that is that's probably a problem. We don't have the differ by 3 anymore thing, because the differ by 3 was if this was a Renbon, I think. Or sorry, was it? I think that. No, the differ by 3 was if this was a region sum line. Oh, no, I do know yellow and green are consecutive. Because I do know both of these are there. If there was an in-between digit between yellow and green, it would occur in these cells twice. So I do know yellow and green are consecutive. So I actually know that this isn't 3 or 4. It's actually 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And yellow and green are consecutive. Okay, well, if I know yellow and green are consecutive, this certainly isn't yellow. Because if this was yellow, I'd need these two to sum to 1. So that's not going to work. So in fact, this is the cell that's yellow. And this cell, again, is at most 2 less than green. But that's okay. Oh, but again, this cell is consecutive. Sorry, I know this cell actually being yellow is consecutive with green, which means this cell is always yellow or green. I don't know which it is, but it is yellow or green. And so 5, 4, 3, 2. So the 1 in this box doesn't fit in those spots. The 1 in this box only fits in one of these two spots. Is certainly true. Okay, this digit is at most 3 less than green. There we go. That's the way to put it. This digit is on a length 4 renbon with green, so it is at most 3 less than green. However, it has to be exactly 3 less than green in order that this works. So these are a 1-2 pair, is my contention. And this digit is, in fact, exactly 3 less than green. So this is the lowest number on the renbon. Green is the highest number on the renbon. And this number is 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, yes, yellow is lower than green because this digit is the lowest on the renbon and green is the highest. Yellow is smaller than green. Yellow is between green and this number. In fact, I'm going to give this number a color just so that we can talk about it. Okay, we need a 3 in this box somewhere. And so I think the fact that we need a 3 in this box somewhere is going to be difficult. So it could go there. Okay, maybe I should say it this way. We need a 3 and a 4 in this box somewhere. One of them goes on one of these renbon. And so either 3 or 4 is at most 4 away from green and yellow. And so in particular, 4 plus 4 is only equal to 8, not 9. So there is no 9. So green can't be 9. Also, remember, yellow is smaller than green. But we've just said green can't be 9 because if green is 9, I can't fit both 3 and 4 in this box. So green is not 9. So that's not 9. That's not 9 or 8. That's not 8 anymore. D-Web says I'm trying to do this in a way too cute way. Not intentionally. I am just thinking about how I'm going to frame this. D-Web saying just case check the possibilities for what green could be. Okay, let's see. Green is the high end of the 4 cell, so it's the low end of the 5 cell. Okay, so right. The digit less than green, the digit that is 1 less than green, sorry, the digit that is 2 less than green, okay, so this is a more abstract way, not a less abstract way to say it. The digit that is 2 less than green shows up here, and the digit that's 1 less than green either shows up here or is yellow, so it shows up in these cells. So there are no more digits less than green on this renbon. So green is, in fact, the second lowest number on this renbon. And so these 3 numbers all need to be higher than green. And so that means green is 6, right? I think that all puts together to say that green is 6, and these have to be 7, 8, 9. I think we finally got this in a way that I could write that would not embarrass me to write. So that means that indeed green is 6, and we get to bring out Zach for the 6y dance. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop 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 boop. Waha! I think as punishment for this, Navario should be obligated to write a solution path document for this puzzle. Okay, so yellow is one less than green. So yellow is 5. This is a 3 because that's how numbers work. These are a 4-6 pair. And I've got that. This is a 5 or a 6. I don't know which it is yet, but it's certainly not 7 or 8. Okay, and I can just basically now these length 2 lines don't do anything. It doesn't matter what they are. Okay. Okay, and so now this is a renbon because in order that this be not a renbon, this number would have to be huge. It would have to be at least 8, and it is not at least 8. So it assuredly has at least 1 of 4 and 6 on it, for what it's worth. Okay. So now this is not a renbon. Now this is a region sum line. Because if this were a renbon, it would need a 5, and it doesn't have one. So there we go. Oh, no, right. Sorry. It wouldn't have to have a high one. It could be 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry. It could be 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. Sorry. Never mind. It would have to be 7, 8, 9. D-Web convinced me. Okay, there's no 1, 2 here. This entire line sees this 5, 6. So if this is a renbon, it's very extreme, but I don't see immediately any problem with that. Sayori says row 7, column 5 is not a region sum line, and row 7, column 5 doesn't even have a line in it. So I feel like I am I'm not 100% sure what is being communicated here. This line. If it were a region sum line, it would need to sum to at least 7. So this would be the last 7, 8, 9. That's ridiculous. Yes. So it's completely ridiculous. So the problem is if this is a region sum line, this is a 7, 8, 9, and now there's a 7, 8, 9 triple in this column. And so you would have to make a 7, 8, 9 triple go over here. However, 6 is not one of 7, 8, and 9. So wow, that spot wasn't your one you liked. That was like the coolest spot. It is very that was awesome. I thought for sure when Sayori said that was going to be exactly what you had in mind? Because the key is that this 3 tells you that this uh can't be a 6 if it's a region sum line. Uh, okay, so anyway, so this is in fact a renbon, uh, which is going to need a 5 on it somewhere, and it's going to need a 4 or a 6. Uh, 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 oh, could it be 1, 2, 3, 4? I thought I'd mentally said that. I guess the 3 would go there. Remember I can't make a 3-1-2 renbon region sum line. So in the world where this is a 3, this would have to be 2-4 exactly. And then this would have to be this would also have to be 2-4 exactly. Yeah, this can't be a 3. Because if this is a 3, I get a 2-4 triple there. Which does not work. So this is never a 3. And if I can't use a 3 on this entire renbon, Globaglob, neither of them can be 1-2 because the rules specify that at this step, 50 minutes into the solve, we will once use the rule that something can't be both a region sum line and a renbon. It is hidden secretly in the rules, but it is a key part of the puzzle. And so this can't be a 3, and so it's a 6. The only reason I spotted that was immediately the concern was because when I read the rule, I was like, oh, so these can't be 3-1-2 because this is like basically the only way it's going to come up. So that is a 6. And so that is a 4 and a 6. Because this renbon needs to have a 3 or a 6 on it, because you can't make a length 4 renbon without a 3 or a 6. I don't believe. And so where is the 6 from my renbon that doesn't have a 3? So yeah, so this needs to be a 6. And this gets to have its true color. And this can have that color as well. Whatever that Zeta puzzle, I don't even know what Zeta puzzle we're talking. Oh, I think you're talking about the one duplicity is I think the puzzle you're talking about. It's got some like black dot renbon stuff where the key point is, yeah, you need a 3 or a 6 on a renbon or it doesn't work. So these are from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. However, certainly there's not a 9 on them. Because if there's a 9, these would be a 7, 8, 9 triple, and that does not work. So there's definitely a 5. That one's not the 5. One of these definitely is a 5. So there's definitely a 1 and a 2 down here in the column. Oh, right. There's definitely a 7, right? If I don't use 7, that's a pretty big problem. So that's not a 7. So there's a 7 pointing down there. So there's a 7 over here somewhere. Right. Okay, so DWeb points out that 1 and 2 are corner marked here. However, if this is not a 1 or a 2, these are a 1, 2, which forces the illegal line. So this cell's always a 1 or a 2. Okay. So MicroStudy's point is this cell can't be a 9 uh, because of this. Okay, so I'm happy now that we've found a second illegal line, because if this is a 9, then this would be 7 8, and this line would be both. And the point is, it would be 7 8 regardless of which one I did. So this is not a 9. So my 9 in this box is in one of these 3 cells. And now the point is, I'm definitely not putting a 9 with a 1 or a 2, no matter what kind of line it is, because it would sum to too big a number, and it's way too far away. So in fact, we will give MicroStudy his 9 there. Like that. Okay. 5 in box 8 is over here. I agree with that. If this is a Renbon, that digit needs to be a 4 or a 6. Sayori has identified that I cannot put a 9 with a 5 on this line, no matter what kind of line it is. So Sayori's claim is that makes this a 1 2 9 triple, which I agree, which then makes this an 8, which then makes this a 4 5 7, makes those a 7 9. And so we've got all of that going on. So there's definitely a 4 over here now, going with the 7, and some other digit yet to be named. Well, these aren't 1 or 2, 4 or 7. Is 3 or 8. 3, 7, 4, 8. The 4 and the 7 definitely there. And so these are from 3, 5, or 8. Okay, so 3, 5 here would make this an 8. 5, 8 here would make this a nothing. Did I not figure out the right? Did I not figure out my digits right? But 5, 8 just doesn't work because there's not enough things. So I think this is 3, 5 is, I think, the point. I can't put an 8 here, so I don't know. I'm not sure what Sayori thinks I did wrong there. But anyway, so this is 3, 5 with a 4 or 8 over here. Oops. So I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, so so this can't be 4, 7 for the same reason. Because if this is 4, 7, this would... Oh, no, this couldn't be 5. So if this is 4, 7, this couldn't be 5, 6. But maybe it could get away with being 3, 8. Oh, right. The 4, 7, 8 now sorts out that that is a 3. Okay. So now this can't be 4, 5 because that would be both. So this needs to be 2, 7 or 1, 8. Yeah, in particular, it's a region sum line, because if it was a Renbon, it would be both. So we can fill in this triple now. These aren't 5 or 7. Okay, so I have an 8 here, and 8 only goes with 1. 8 doesn't go with 2, and so that is a 9. And that's a 2. And so these aren't 2, 7. They are 1, 8 now. So we've got all of that. Poor virtual pair. Uh, J40 is saying we can mark that this is 2-4 or 7-8, depending on which it is, which thing it turns out to be. And this is also 2-4 or 7-8. And so this has given us, I love this, the most random quadruple in the entire universe. A 2-4-7-8 quadruple in the column, which means we can fill in this triple. And note that, of course, they cannot be 2, 4, 7, or 8 because we've used the 2, 4, 7, 8 in the column, which makes that a 3. Oh, I love it. I love random quadruples like that. They make me happy. Niv is going to be really upset with me when I say at the end my favorite step was when this 2, 4, 7, 8 quadruple appeared. I will predict now. Funnily enough, that means none of these are ever 6. So the 6 in this column is in one of these cells. Does that do anything? Because either this is a 6 or it's a 1, in which case one of these is a 6. So there's no 6 in these 3 cells. That looks important to me, but I can't quite make sense of it. Usefully yet. Okay. Yeah, I guess there was always going to be no 6 in here, regardless of what this digit was, because this is a 6-cell Renbon, and that's not the 6. People are saying I should just corner mark that the 4 goes in one of these 2 cells here. I agree with that. Right. This is the one that's not 4-8, because one of these is 4 or 8, is Dorlier's point. So this is not 4 or 8. I did not hit the right buttons there. This is not 4 or 8, and so this is 4 or 8, just because of the way the 2 options work. People keep saying there's no 9 on this Renbon. I have yet to understand the nature of there being no 9 on the Renbon. I mean, I'm sure it's true, but people have said it like it's obviously true, but I don't get it. Oh, it's because there's a 3 on it. It's because there's a 3. It's not. I have looked so many times to see where the 9 that's corner marked somewhere or something is, but it's because there's a 3, right? So I now understand why. So there's a 9 sort of corner marked here. If I go 6 up from 3, I only get to 8. So there's a 9 over down here somewhere. Let's see. Does that do anything? People in chat have said it a lot, so it must do something, but I don't see what it does immediately. No, not my precious Renbon War. I can fill in the triple in this row, because I've got a 1-8 pair already. So these are from 3, 4, 7. I was trying to see if the 3, 4, 7. Oh, well, it's not 4 because of the 4 corner marked above. So it's 3 or 7 for what it is worth. And we definitely have a 3 in one of these 2 spots, Emma points out. 3's over here. Okay. Navario is suggesting some light torture of this line. So if this is 4-8, this can't be 4-8 anymore. Oh, it couldn't have been 4-8 anyway. So I think the point here is to disprove the case that this is 4-7. Because if this is 4-7, this being 4-7 would make this 2-8, which does not work. So this can't be 4-7. It can't be 2-9. It can't be 5-6 because of the reason that that's both a Renbon and a region sum line. So this is not. So the only option is 3. Oh no, 3-8 doesn't work. So if this is 4-7, it doesn't work, which means this isn't 8. I think we have just. So and then so I think we've now gone through all the cases here, and so there's definitely an 8 here. 3-8 doesn't work because there's an 8 in the box already. J40. So now there's definitely an 8, and so there's 7-8 here. And so if there's a 7-8 here, we can't have a 9 here. We can't have, so if this is 7-8, it can't be a region sum line because 6-9 is broken and 7-8 are broken. And so we'd have to go down to 6 and 5. I don't see what's wrong with 6 and 5, though. And so if this is 4-8, this can't be 4-8 or 3-9, so this would be 5-7. 5-7 would make this a 4, and then would make this a 2-8 again, so that doesn't work. So yeah, so by inspection, 4-8 does not work. So this is 7-8. And so then up here, so now we've already said this can't be a region sum line, although there's nowhere I can mark it, but this can't be a region sum line because this would have to be 6-9 or a 7-8 again. It does not work either way. Oh, I can actually fill in this 8 over here. Which let's do that. That is 2-4. So that is 7 and 8. Somehow that has become a 3. Oh yeah, because of that 7. That has become a 1 and an 8. This is not a 3. This is not a 7. Yeah, so this needs to be a 5-6 to make this a Renbon work, because it's the only thing it can be, which makes that a 4, a 7, and a 5. Makes that a 4. This is only half a step more case checking than I would like. Like, once it's, like, very low, I like it when it turns out that, like, certain combinations don't work. But this is like 1/2 step too far, but not too far for me. I didn't mind that step as much as my my facial emotions suggested, probably. So this is a 3, like that. Okay, so now the 8 is on the line in box 1. Ah, yes. Now the 8 is on the line in box 1, so we know what's on it. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In particular, this is the 6. Very good. That was the whole point of all of that. No 5 or 6, no 8, no 4. Niv did tell me that I would either love or hate this puzzle. I'm closer to love than hate, just for the record. So this is not 4, 7, or 8. It's not 5, 6, or 3. So these are a 1, 2, 9 triple now. These are 4, 6 pair, but there's a 4 looking down, so that's the 6 and that's the 4. These are a 2, 7, 9. Let's see. We can fill in these because this can't be 1, 2, or 9. And so these can't be 7 or 4. It's a very unsettling noise scratching against the window that I think is from the weather, but sounds like a bear is trying to get in or something. So this 5, 6, it can't go with 7, 8 to make a Renbon. I think it could go with 7, 4 to make a Renbon, though. Oh, box 2 has some disastrous corner marks. Oh, I can actually color these, by the way. This one's the Renbon. This one's the region sum line. Oh, 4, 7 would also be a region sum line, and it can't be 3, 4. Got it. Okay. So 4, 7 doesn't work because that would be the double case. And then 3, 4 doesn't work. So this has to be a region sum line, is the point. And so now these need to sum to 11. They're not 5, 6. Again, they can't be 4, 7. So these are 3, 8 or 2, 9 are the two options. Oops, I just didn't hit 2, so that's not 3, so that's not 8. Oh, I have another line down here. So if this were a Renbon, it could not be 6, 9 because of the double rule. So if this were a Renbon, it would be 5, 6, which it certainly is not. So these two need to be 7, 8 again because I can't make them 6, 9 or it's both. So this is the shame line from the previous puzzle. So 7, 8, 7, 8. So we've got our 1, 8 over there. These are a 3, 6, which makes that a 7. So no 8 goes there. So no 3 goes here, which has made these a 2, 9. So that is a 1 over there. The 2, 9 looks over, actually, which makes that a 5. Let's see. No 7 goes there. Okay, this 2, 9 looks over, making that a 4 and a 2, making that a 9 and a 2, making that a 1 and a 9. We can mark the rest of this shenaniganery. So that is the 3. These aren't 3s. There's a 3, 5, 6 triple in this row, making that a 4. One of these is a 1 for sure. Let's see. So I probably should contemplate the nature and purpose of what is going on this line, huh? This line doesn't have a 3 on it just by sudoku. So if this is a Renbon, it would have to be 4, 5, 6, 7. However, if you look at what that would do, it would be the 4, 7 and the 5, 6 would go in this box, which Navario would like me to say breaks because it would be both a Renbon and a region sum line, or it breaks because this cell is marked 5, 6. So anyway, this is a region sum line that is not the other thing, that is not a Renbon. This line having no 4 on it is less powerful. Let's see. 4 is just placed here, is a great spot from Hesham. So that places a 4 over down here. Let's see. Okay, so we've got that 4. Okay, so this cell is a 2 or a 9 by the column, which if you look at it actually gives us a 1, 2, 9 triple, which you know I love. So this is not a 1, 2, or a 9. So that's a 7, 8 pair, placing a 3 here in the row. Let's see. So these are from a bajillion things, I guess. Yeah, morally speaking, a bajillion. If this were 4, 2, it would be 1, 5. That looks okay to me. If this were 4, 7, it could not be 5, 6, or 2, 9, or 3, 8. So this is never a 7, at least. All of those options break. If this is 4, 9, that's 13. So this can't be 4, 9. Can't be 5, 8 because this cell can't be either. And it could maybe be 6, 7. I don't see a reason it can't be 6, 7. So I think this is 4, 2 with a 1, 5, with the 1 there and the 5 there, or with a 6, 7 with a 7 there and the 6 there, which gives us an incredibly strange 5, 6 pair, which does a disappointingly small amount. But I'm going to just mark the rest of this box so that I can have the pleasure of removing 5, 6 from them. We have a 5, 6 pair in this column now, points out Kale, making that a 1. So that's not a 1 anymore. Let's see. So we've got all of that. There's a 2, 9 pair in the column as well, Dorlier points out. So that is not 9 or 2. So these are a 7, 8. So those are a 7, 8. So that makes that a 1 and a 5, which makes that a 2. And that probably is going to do everything. So that is a 9, a 2, a 1, 9, 2, 1, 6, 2, 5, 6, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 6, 3. Yeah, there aren't any none shameful 9, 8 things, I'm afraid. 7, 9, 8, 7, 7, 9, 7, 8. Yeah, there's a deadly pattern here that needed this line that just overlaps all of these things, which I'm sure just made Navario very sad when setting this, that this was needed at the end because it clutters up so much, especially because it clutters up like this crisscrosses over sort of the break-in. Anyway, so this is a region sum line, though, I should mark. And this was a region sum line as well. This was also a region sum line. This is a really impressive construction because there's not a whole lot of commonality between how region sum lines and middle one? Which middle one? So I think this was an incredibly impressive way to sort of make the logic between these things interesting. But I think it required a lot of effort to get this to sort of mesh in the way that it did. Box 8, box 6. That one I have both of these marked. Oh, no, I don't have this one marked. Right. Right, this one's got to be a Renbon. We're gonna just claim that this is marking that this is a Renbon because I can't actually mark it in a sort of unambiguous way. But yeah, very nice, very nice, and great to see you too, Tirganis. It is true. I do not see a lot of Tirganis lately, but yeah, great puzzle. I could actually color the line with the pen tool. That's true. I could color this line. That's true. That's a good way to do it. We'll color that line. That looks a lot better. Yes. And finally, we learned, by the way, that this was green. Yeah, yeah, I can color the two lines as well. Yeah, that's true. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Ah! Oops. That one and that one like that. There we go. Yeah, I wonder if there was any way to make this this box 2 stuff a little more tractable. It definitely sort of turned into like an intro to proof course of like having to write down carefully all of your conditionals and then put together your all of your conditionals in a way that was slightly more complicated. It's the sort of thing where I wonder if like a given digit or something would have made it so that you didn't have to think about quite as many things at once. Like the logic of it I liked. I wouldn't want to change the logic behind it. Just I wonder if there's a way to give a gentle nudge that would make it a little easier to parse through the logic. I am not sure. But it was cool. I was not at all unhappy with where we ended up with this, in terms of sort of putting together the pieces. Too close for comfort. Just for that. Yeah, microstudy. I suggested at the beginning that these overlapping lines would be a really good way to make a more rich, like, antimatter line puzzle. So perhaps you could make an antimatter line puzzle with some longer antimatter lines, given that the lines can cross and overlap and share the same squares. So I think that will be microstudies next. Maybe all length 5 antimatter lines. See if we can make that into a puzzle. Alrighty. I am going to take a quick break and come back, and we have time for at least one more puzzle. So I'm going to look for something, and I'll be back in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. Next up, we have this puzzle with penguin in the title, so Zach is excited. Uh, and this is by Captain Zebra Cakes. This might be Captain Zebra Cakes' first appearance on the channel. I am not 100% sure. But setting puzzles with penguins in the title is a good way to get them to appear on stream. So let's see what we have in store. I admit I did not look at it beyond the fact that penguin was in the title. We have entropy parity. Each set of 3 consecutive digits along the yellow line must contain a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7, 8, 9. In addition, digits along this line must alternate odd, even parity. Oh boy. So these are both entropy and parity. Okay, so we need to sort of see to it that we collect our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9s and do that. Let's see. So, and parity. So yeah, so we get to sort of color this in 2 ways, I suppose. Okay, well, I guess... Oh, sorry, I suppose I should say more before I say that these digits are the ones that are odd. But anyway, we have palindromes, which are a constraint that I don't see except when I show students F puzzles, and they wonder what palindromes are. So this is my first time doing a puzzle with a palindrome in it in Aeons. So that will be exciting. But basically, those 2 are the same. These 2 are the same. These 2 are the same. I suspect it's just that palindromes got a little oversaturated at some point. And so they sort of disappeared. Because when I was first watching CTC, I saw them all the time. I also suspect a big part of it is that the way that palindromes are implemented in F puzzles is ugly. Like, I think if palindromes and F puzzles looked prettier, I suspect that people would probably use them more. Whereas clones, I also don't see often, but I suspect the reason why I don't see clones very often is that clones are not very interesting as a Sudoku constraint. Digits... Someone said anti-knight, and I was like, wait, are there anti-knight in the rules? But no, the anti-knight is something else that we don't see that often on CTC. I'm not a huge fan of anti-knight either, although anti-knight is fun every once in a while as a palate cleanser, as long as it's used in a way that is not too abusive. This is a Renbon, which is like the... I was going to say like the purple lines in the previous... puzzle, except that this line puzzles did not have purple ones. These are like these purple lines. They're the Renbon, the string of consecutive digits in any order. And Kropke, which these things have a ratio of 1 to 2. Okay, so my first note was that because this is a parity line, we know actually that these have to be the odd ones because there's more odds than evens. And so we get this, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Jay Dyer says she did a palindrome variant early. I also did a palindrome variant early where it sort of was like a mix and match the things. Which I did not end up loving, but I did do it. Okay, so we've got all of those happening. And we have to keep in mind that this is also a parity line. Oh, we can draw over that with a purple line so that we know that it's a Renbon. I bet it's supposed to be a hockey stick. I bet is why it's gray. I don't know what the palindromes are supposed to be. I don't know hockey well enough to know what sort of like bizarre hook-shaped tools the players use to beat each other with. But this I'm pretty sure is meant to be a hockey stick. So that is a 2, 4, 6, 8, by the way, just for palindrome, we'll just reflect it. Is this part of the Penguins logo, the weird thing in the background? Uh, or is the Penguins logo just the triangle with the Renbon? Uh, oh, it's a penguin. Oh wow, it is a penguin. I see it now. Yes, the beady sticks are actually a penguin. If you look at them together, it's actually very clearly a penguin. Like this is the tail, this is the head, this is the eye. Okay, I see it now. That's very cool. Uh, so people are enthusiastic about the location of 7. So that is not a 7 because it would get reflected over there. Uh, I don't see why that can't be a 7. That can be a 7 because those can't be 7 because there's a given 7 over here. Uh, so this is in fact a 7 by Sudoku, and we can bring out Zach for the 7 dance. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Yeah, the aesthetics on this are quite impressive. Uh, Alrighty. Welcome back, Zach. Yeah, Zach got to go on a long break. So one of these is a 7. Uh, I guess I kind of want to color this entropy line in yellow, green, and purple, just so that I can sort of keep track of this. Uh, 7 is placed in box 1. That's true. 7 is placed in box 1. Right. MicroStudy pointing out, I know where the 2 purples go in this row because I need 2 purples, and so they have to go there. So this line is definitely not purple. I don't quite know the parity of the other line yet. Let's see. So I probably have to like make some deep observation about the nature of reality here with these things. Okay, so this is a 6 long line. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the deeper point. Several people in chat have pointed out. One of these two is odd, and that's odd. So therefore, purple isn't middle, because middle has 2 evens. So actually, purple we know is not middle. Purple is extreme. So we can get rid of all of those options out of purple. For whatever it is worth. And so one of these is 2/8, and the other is odd. And it's that 2/8 for whatever that minimal amount is worth. Yes, this purple gets mirrored along the palindrome to there, is being pointed out. Agree with that. Oh, and this cell also gets purpled across the palindrome to there. Yeah, so this is, and this yellow actually can go up there if you want. while we are doing things about things. So I know this is odd. Let's see, Paulfly asked where this digit is in row 6. Oh, right, because it's that digit. But it's not that one, so it's that one. Okay, there we go. Right, this digit is different from that one. So just to make Paulfly's point clearer, these two are the same by palindromes. This is therefore different than ketchup. So this is also different from ketchup, and so therefore, where does ketchup circle go? Ketchup circle goes here, which means ketchup circle goes here. Per microstudies request, we have brought out the ketchup. So the circle one is odd. And of course, neither of them are 7. So that one's not 7. That one's not 1. So those aren't 1 either. That one's still not 7. Something going on interesting here is that there are two there are two even greens. And if there are two even greens, green must be middle, because middle is the only one with two distinct evens. So green is in fact middle, which actually means that this is a 5 and that's a 5. So we've got that. So that is not a 5. Oh, and the yellow is not 4-6 anymore. Not 4-6. So we've got a yellow 2-8 and a purple 2-8. So we know that cell's not 2-8, so we're really sort of chugging along. Okay, that's a great spot. This is although I'm now confused. So the claim is that this needs to go on the hockey stick, but isn't it ruled? Oh no, sorry. Right. I need to. Right, there are two different green 4-6s. Right. So this is the other green 4-6. Because I need both 4 and 6 along this line. And now that 4-6 has to go on the hockey stick, and it goes in one of these two spots. Is the point. And now 5 in this box just goes here. And 5 on the hockey stick goes with the other of these. So this is actually a 4-5-6 triple over down here. If you sort of fill that in. Okay, both purples are on the Renbon. Or sorry, 2 of the 3 purples are on the Renbon. If that was a 9, then we'd need all the purples on the Renbon. Otherwise, this will be a yellow 3. Oh, 7 in row 4 is just here, Kale points out. That is pretty impressive. Yes, 7 in this row can only go here, which does let me odd even this row. Oops. I don't know why I hit 6 and 8 in my... okay, I'm going to try again to list the odd numbers because I hit lots of them that I was not supposed to. These are 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, and purple is not 7, so purple must be... Or sorry, so 7 is definitely yellow, which unfortunately makes the circles 3 because we've already got all the purples and none of them are 7. So this is a 3. Also, by the way, especially for how aesthetically clear this grid is, this is quite a reasonable solve path. So 9 is not purple if 3 is purple. So 9 is in fact yellow, so 8 is yellow. So 2 is in fact purple. So no 8, no 2. Okay, so now I finally know how to color the given digits. All of that is yellow. No 9 there. No 1 or 3 there. This is assuredly... oh, this is just a 2, and that's a 2 if I read. So this is green. And this is yellow, actually. So this is an 8 if I yellowify my my thing. This is that center cell of a palindrome that doesn't do anything. But these are a green and a 9. Yeah, I don't think we need the ketchup to keep track of which is 2 and which is 3 anymore. That's true. But the ketchup served us very well, I like to think. There's definitely a 2 on this black dot if you look at it, because it can't be 3, 6, and it doesn't have an 8, so it's from 1, 2, 4, and the 2 actually goes exactly there. So this is a 1 or a 4. This 7 also is a color. Oh, that 1, 4 is on a palindrome. And the other side of the palindrome sees a 4, 5, 6. So in fact, it is a 1, and that's a 1, which makes both of those purple. Thank you, MicroStudy. This 7 is a color as well. Right. One of these cells is a 7. And it's not actually that one, because that one is that one. So one of these two is a 7, which means that that's a 9. I can pencil mark these cells just for fun. 4, 6, 9. Sure. So that gives me a pair over here and a pair down here. And I know the 4, 6, and 9 are over there. So in fact, this is a 1, and that's a 7. So these are green. That is purple. That is yellow. Over there. This is a triple now. So 4, 6. So we get that. Oh, God. MicroStudy, why do you do this to me? This cell can't be 3, because if this cell was 3, these would need to be 1, 2, 4, 8, but neither of them could be 1, 2. This one can't be 1, 2 because there's a 1 in the box. This one can't be 1, 2 because there's a 1, 2 in the column. So this can't be 3. So that is a 1 and an 8. There we go. Uh, oh, that 8 does reflect? Yeah, that 8 does reflect. That's true. Uh, it's one of those things where it's like, this is both beautiful and horrible at the same time. Uh, I mean, I both enjoy and do not enjoy the microstudy way simultaneously. I don't know. Like I feel like I could definitely imagine myself putting that kind of step into a puzzle, although I might not. I might not do the. I'd probably have the why both of them couldn't be 1-2 be slightly more symmetrical. Uh, oh, 8 in box 3 is now here. Agree. Uh, so okay. Well, oh, sorry. No, this can't be 1, 2, or 8. So if this is of the this just has to be 3, 6 actually. If you look at this dot and what it can be, because this one can't be 1, 2, or 8. So if this was of the 1, 2, 4, 8 family, which I still think needs a name, I don't know, like the Kitlingtons or something. But if this is of that family, then what is this? Because this would be a 4, so what would this be? And the answer is, well, it's not 2 or 8. So this can't be from the Kitlington family. This has to be the other family. So this is a 3, 6 pair, and we actually know the order. So we've got that and 3. So no 6s there. So this now has to be from 2, 4, 8. And if you look at the fact that this is from 2, 4, 8, it tells me that that's a 4, which is green. And this is a 2 or an 8 that's not an 8, so it is purple, as we know. So that sorts out those 4, 6s a bit. In fact, that one as well gets sorted out by the 4, 5 pair if I were to look closely, which is not one of my main skills. I'll do the palindrome thing and highlight these 2 cells, mark them, and ask what the intersection is, and the intersection is 9. So that is green, and so that is yellow. Okay, and I think now we can probably mark the rest of the grid so that we can do our coloring. So those are green. That is yellow. These are green. That is yellow. Let's see, that is going to be yellow. That is going to be green. So now we can... oh, that's going to be green no matter what. And then we can fill in some digits and do some more coloring. So that is a 5. That is a 9. That is a 6 and a 5. That is a 9. Now is a good time to remark. Okay, and so now we can get to do some more coloring. So that's yellow, and that is purple. That is green. That is a purple. Let's see. Oh, I didn't ever mark that this is a 7. That's a green. So we can fill in the 6 and the 4 and the 7 and the 5 and the 8 and the 2. And I suspect that is going to immensely help with our coloring. So that is green. Those are both purple. That's purple. So that's yellow. I feel like this is way more efficient than the way I used to do this, but I could be wrong. Okay, so this is 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 4. I have not seen the recent chaos construction. That is a 3. Okay, so we'll remark again. Okay, and we're almost to the point where we can do the thing. Color, color, color. Ooh, I do like pentominoes lately. Purple, yellow, purple. These are just green by counting. And this is just purple by counting. So we've now finished the coloring. So now we should 9, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 4, 3, 9, 1, 2. Very nice. I can't believe you got the aesthetic there on that puzzle to match with a solve path that felt very smooth and deliberate the whole time as well. Very cool. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do to make my Pentomino Country Road puzzle more exciting, is add a like 4-color theorem rule to it or something. But yeah, I was working on a Pentominous Country Road, which was interesting. But yeah, maybe colors or something would be. I felt like it needed something else, and I couldn't quite figure out what the something else wanted to be. Like I considered, like, should it be like a roller coaster, or I don't know. I haven't figured out what it is yet. I think I'll actually make it, but who knows? No promises as of yet. I still have to figure out how to make my line puzzle work, as MicroStudy likes to remind me every now and then. A line, of course, being a line that must be broken down into different line constraints. But the Navario puzzle earlier had me thinking about how you if you just specified your line needed to break the thing into Renbon and region sum lines, you could probably, maybe, possibly make a puzzle with just one giant line out of it. Maybe. Oh yeah, Selena wants the 2023 puzzle of the year list. Yeah, I should. Given that I already made the list, I should actually do that at some point. The proof of the 6-color theorem is very elegant, and then the 5-color theorem is doable, but it's a little hacky, and then the 4-color theorem is horribly, horribly hacky. Oh yes, Uno, that's right. Yeah, I also have a horrendous idea to do a full rank puzzle, except instead of the ranking being by numbers, the ranking is by the poker hands, the 5-card poker hands that you get out of the things, because it's also a coloring. That is also on my list of things that I want to do. So we'll see what happens. I have a lot of very horrible Zeta ideas bouncing around at the moment. But that one is, of course, Ballatro's fault. Anyway, I'm going to stretch real quick, and then I will be back in just a moment. And Sayori, if you want a full rank doubler puzzle, fear not, there's one by Andrew Sarkis in the 6x6s. All right, welcome back. Uh, yeah, Selena's talking about Balatro. I would not describe Balatro as a strategy game if I was to describe Balatro. Uh, but I feel the same is true of like all the sort of like Slay the Spire style games. Like they all have a fair bit. Monster Train is my personal favorite. If you're uh, looking for something, I like Monster Train a lot. Okay, let's have a look at this Dorlier puzzle. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, and a digit in a circle indicates that the sum of all the digits that are a knight or chess knight's move away from that circle. Uh, Cells separated by a black dot must be in a ratio of 1 to 2. Not necessarily all are given. By microstudy. If I look at this circle, for example, I think it is the sum of these two cells. If I look at this circle, I think it is the sum of these 4 cells. Yeah. Good point. If I look at this cell, then this cell is the sum of these. And so the only way that this works is for this to be a 9, because I need all of those to be 1, 2. And so I can bring out Zach for another 9 dance. Ba-boop, ba-doop, whoa! Ba-doop, ba-doop, wah! Ba-doop, ba-doop, wah! Sorry you had to go, Dorlier, but it sounds like you're back just in time. Ba-doop, 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 wah! Thank you, Zach. That is going assuredly to do some things. Because blue now, the minimum sum here is now 1, 3, and the minimum sum here is now 1, 3. Because this sees that one too. And so now this can only possibly be 8 or 9. And I definitely need a 1 in both of these strings of blue. Because if I don't, this will now be at least 2, 3, and that's too big. Oh, wait, sorry. No, but maybe that's not true. Oh, yeah, they can't both have 1s. Sorry. They can't both have 1s because that would rule 1 out of both of these. So one of these is a 1. Whichever one it is, the minimum of that is 2, 3. And the one that's a 2, the minimum is 1, 3. So yes. So in fact, together, they minimize to 9. I really like that, actually. That's very cute, the way that these all play together. Because one of these is minimum 4, and one of them is minimum 5. So in fact, this digit is definitely a 9. That is very fun. I like that. Okay, and so these are all, therefore, from 1, 2, 3 in order to make that work. We've got that going on. And this one sees a 1, 2 pair is good. I was trying to figure out some like weird anti-knight thing, even though the puzzle isn't anti-knight, but it sees a 1, 2 pair literally in the column. So this is a 3. Good spot there. Okay, what about you? What do you sum? Okay, so this cell, okay, I'm going to get rid of yellow now, because I think I'm now more interested in our friend here, red, because I think red now sums that cell, and that cell. And this cell as well. Sorry, and this cell. I can get rid of blue because blue isn't doing anything anymore. Blue's done. Mostly. Blue's done, except for the fact that I need to remember that one of these is a 1 and one of them's a 2. But I guess that's going to be forced by Sudoku anyway. So yeah, red is just done. Sorry, blue is just done. Okay, so this number is at least 4. 4 plus 1, 2 would be 7. So this is a maximum of 8 because of the box, and it is 8. Because 4 plus 1, 2 plus 1 is indeed 8. So I need to do that in order to make this 8. So that is a 2 and a 1. These are a 2, 3. And now we can get rid of red. And we can get rid of green as well, just to keep clear what it is we are thinking about as we do this. This is very fun so far. So this is, again, now the sum of these two. And so now this is minimized because... Sorry, I did not do that right. Sorry. It would be the sum... If it was the sum of those two, it would be minimized. But it's actually the sum of these two. And so... that actually leaves a little bit more flexibility because the 2 is one of the digits that is included in the sum. This one, though, I kind of want to look at now. Let's make this orange. Which now, for whatever reason, makes me just think about the orange you're glad I didn't say banana thing, which I don't even know where it's from, but it somehow is in my head. I don't know why. I guess this is only an O of 6, so maybe that one's not actually that exciting. Is this one exciting? I think this one's exciting. Let's make you purple so that I can make these all purple. So this is a minimum of 7 if it's just 3 plus 3. Oh, sorry, no, this is a minimum of 8 because this is actually a minimum of 4, 3, 1. And so this actually works. This is 4, 3, 1, like that. All works out. So that is fun. Okay, so the box 9 dot is now 4, 8. Good. So now this digit's a 4 just by Sudoku back into this box. These are a triple. Oh, but Mark has never heard of the digits that are involved. Sorry, Mark. 5, 6, 7. They're a 5, 6, 7 triple. So now we ask where 3 is in column 2, and it only goes there. And so this is the other of 5, 6, and 7. Which has made that a 2 and that a 3. Let's see. These are a quad. And this one, remember, is the sum of... This one was the one I made yellow to begin with. Is the sum of these two. However, now that these are 2 plus 3, this just is a 5. I thought I was going to need to do more than that, but I did not, in fact, need to. So that's a 4. So I can now get rid of yellow. Sorry that you did not get to hang around very long that time, yellow. Okay, so no 5 there. So we can fill in all of these digits. These I know are not 6, 7. Not 6, 7. By the column having a 6, 7 pair, so that's not a 5. So we've got all of that. I'm going to go ahead, let's see. I'm going to give you a color. I'm going to have to start reusing colors. I guess yellow didn't get to hang out for very long, so I'm going to let yellow hang out again, even though it's a different spot. We'll let those be yellow. If this were an 8, that would have to be a 1, and that would have to be a 9, which looks potentially okay. If this is a 4, then, well, this is certainly from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this is from, could be 9. It can't be 8 could be 7 or 6 or 5, I believe. But probably I should look at this one. Let's go ahead and make this one green again. Is that, and that. So this is at least 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. And then 3 plus 1 here would be at least 4. So this is at least 4 plus 4. So this is a minimum of 8, except it can't be 8 because of the 4-8 pair. So this, in fact, is a 9, which means that's not 9, which means this can't be 8 because now I can't have 8 in a sum that's not at least 9. And so this is not 5 because of that. You can get... okay. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so, and again, these sum to a minimum of 4. So these sum to a maximum of 5. So these are certainly from 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's not a 4. That one's not a 1 or a 2. And in fact, actually, this one can't even be a 3 because of that. And these sum to a minimum of 4. So these two sum to a maximum of 5. And so this is from 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's actually, of all of those, it seems to be a naked 3. So we've got that going on. So let's see. Intriguing. Okay. We probably have to do a good bit more Sudoku before anything else is going to really happen. So, right, this is not 7. That's true, because now it's 4 plus 1 or 4 plus 2. I agree with that assessment. We do need a 9 in one of these. Let's see, this is the last of the cells, so I can go ahead and mark it just for our sake. If this is a 1, this would suddenly become minimum 4. Okay, so one of these two is a 1. And what Kyle is arguing is that if this is a 1, we destroy the universe quite badly. Because if this is a 1, we remove 1 from both of these, and they become minimum more than 3 plus 3 is 10. Like, the minimum is actually a lot more than that, which does not work. So this is always a 1. And so this cell, just by orange, is a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it's not a 2 or a 4, actually, if you just look at Sudoku, by which I mean just let Sven tell you the answer. And so it's either 5 plus 1 is 6 or 5 plus 3 is 8. So no 7 or 9 go there. So this is 6 or 8, which gives us, if you consider that this is a 3, 4, 6, 8 sort of arrangement, it gives us a virtual 6, 8 pair in the column for reasons that I don't fully understand. Oh, okay. So Kyle is saying if I use my 6-8 virtual pair, it will make this interesting. Because, again, there's a 6-8 here and the other 6-8 is here. So there's no 6-8 down here. So this is only 3, 5, or 7. I don't 100% understand where the rest of the stuff works. It's because, so there's a 4, 8 hidden pair here. The 4, right. I guess the question is, where does 8 go in this box? The 8 just goes there now. And now where does the 3 go in the row? The 3 now just goes here. And so that does indeed make this an 8 and a 4. And 8. I was right when I said we were going to have to do more Sudoku in order to make this work. So orange is done. Green is done. Yellow is done. So we have successfully made our way through that whole part. I can get rid of the orange on these as well. Okay. And now I can probably just hit the mark button, I'm going to guess. Because certainly this is not a 2 or a 4. This has to be an 8, which makes that a 7. If I now just look at it, which makes that a 5 and a 7 and a 1. This 5-7 pair has made that an 8. We can clean up a little bit from there. That 6-7 pair has made that a 5. Let's see. We didn't ever get rid of the purple coloring over there. There we go. So row 2, column 8 seems to be a 6 through magical Sudoku stuff that I am glad that chat saw. We probably would have found it eventually. I like to tell myself at least. That 5-7 pair has made this a 3. It's probably the last 3 in the grid. It's not quite the last 3 in the grid, actually. There's one more 3, 2 more 3s. No, there's one more 3. It's there. So we've got that 5-7 pair has made that a 9, which has made that a 4 and a 9. No 9 to go there. No 9 to go there. That is a 5-6-7 triple. So that makes that a 9 and a 5. And makes this a 2. If we look over there, that's a 4-5-7 triple. That makes that a 2. That is a 6-7 pair, Ambrose points out, which has made that a 9 and a 7 and a 5 and a 6 and a 9, 7, 5, 4, 5, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7. Very nice little puzzle there. That was quite pleasant. I really liked that how smooth the solve path was on that one all around. Neat idea. I think I might have done a puzzle with this rule set before. It felt a little familiar. So probably I've done like 1 or 2, but it was a very cool idea and a very cool execution. And I always appreciate when you're able to make a puzzle unique with only a handful of clues like this that sort of have this neat thing. Alrighty. I think I am going to wrap up the stream there for today. But thank you very much to everyone for supporting the channel. Thank you for hanging out. Please do thumb up the stream if you have not yet done so. YouTube greatly appreciates it. And a huge thanks to all the people who support the stream financially. We try to do what we can to celebrate them, but big thank you. If you want to support the stream financially, you can do that by clicking the join button down below. We greatly appreciate all of you who do. Huge thanks to DDX for the donation earlier. And I like to end stream by thanking the people who donate at the top level. So that is Daniel, Danita, David, Franco, Nell, Nordy, Plonktime, and DDX. Thank you so much to all of you for your support and to everyone who does whatever you can. Again, no pressure to support if you can't. Just being here, hanging out, thumbing up the stream, telling your friends or whatever. All of this is appreciated as well. Thank you all. I'll see you all real soon. Thanks for watching, but bye for now.